So my next guest, I'm very excited to speak to. It's C. David Hay, who is the author of 5 books of poetry, all of which are dedicated to his wife, Joy. Deservedly so, might I add, because she is not only the editor of his books, but also his greatest champion in life. C. David Hay, who has been published widely, nationally and abroad. His poetry has been read on the BBC. He has been nominated for the Pushcart Prize in Poetry, and he is the recipient of the Ordo Honoris Award from Kappa Delta Rho. We will also be joined by Nalini Lasiewicz, a singer-songwriter in the LA music scene whose original songs are steeped with poetic lyrics and catchy melodies, and whose voice has been compared to such great singers as Joni Mitchell. And today we have the pleasure of bringing them together to talk about Nalini's latest song, Wings, whose lyrics are made up entirely of the words of a wonderful poem of the same title, authored by C. David Hay. Please welcome them both.
Hi,
Well,
Owen.
hello to you two collaborators. How are you?
Great.
Excited.
Good to hear. And David, you're coming to us all the way from Florida, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And Nalini, you're coming to us from La Crescenta, is that right?
Neighboring La Cañada Flint Ridge, yes.
By the magic of this technology, we're all able to get together and chat about this song for the first time. And what a wonderful thing for you to have taken a beautiful poem by C. David Hay and put it to music. Can you tell me how all that came about, Nalini?
It was probably about 15 years ago. My son Evan gave me a present, Bedside Prayers book, and one of the first entries was Wings. And as soon as I read it, I just felt as though it belonged in a song. It has such a cadence, and the message is beautiful, very inspiring, very ethereal, I would say. And so I just jumped right up and grabbed my guitar, and it came out in one fell swoop. It was very interesting. And a few weeks later, I sought out Dr. Hay, and he told me that he had been contacted previously by a number of other people who had put the song to music. So this was a poem made for music.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, and it rhymes beautifully too, and a lot of poetry doesn't, but this one does, so it lends itself beautifully to lyrics, and as you say, the cadence. And to go to that point a little bit, I want to ask you, your lyrics, they lend themselves to music. How did the lyrics come to you?
Actually, Wings was an anomaly. It came out of a dream. I woke up in the middle of the night. These words were there. Alan scribbled it on a piece of paper. Went back. Next morning, I got up and I looked to see what I'd written. I got goosebumps. I told Joy, I said, come here, read this. Oh my, where did that come from? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it seems like you channeled it. You wake up and you write one of the greatest considered one of the greatest poems, especially throughout. It's been used in memorials. Now it's been several songs. But I have to ask you, and now Nalini is present, so answer carefully here, David. But what do you think of Nalini's song compared to the other songs that have been written using your poem?
It's by far the best. Yeah. I'm not just saying that. This is definitely professional.
Yes,
I'm very happy with the outcome.
Good, happy to hear it. And Nalini, it is very professional. I've listened to the song now a number of times. The arrangement, the melody, the message, it seems like you encapsulated David's words in the correct melody. You say that it came to you very quickly after you read the poem, just like the words came to David in the middle of the night, very quickly. Can you talk a little bit about the arrangement? Because it's an absolutely beautiful arrangement.
Thank you. I was just really inspired last fall when I ran into a jazz great here in Los Angeles. He lives in South Pasadena, Nolan Shahid. And he lined up a fantastic crew, the piano player Mahesh Balasaria, oboe player Cedric Smith, flute player David Crawford, bassoon was played by Andrew Smith, and bass Tony Dumas. And these were all excellent studio musicians, so I had the benefit of that talent. Nolan was the arranger for the woodwinds section, and I wanted that to be sort of the equivalent of the birds flying around. By the way, the video crew, I have to mention right now, is Josh Britt and Nielsen Hubbard is a filmmaker team in Nashville. They've done extraordinary work for a lot of musicians. I'm happy with it.
Oh, so you've seen the video?
I have seen it.
That's
David
great.
hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, wow. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And is there anything you want to say to finish up?
I did want to say about the poem that to me, it represented a longing for freedom. And early in the lyrics, it talks about leaving the woes of troubled souls behind. You know, and this is a very troubled time that we live in. And we want hope. We want to know that there's a positive future, whether it's in this lifetime or for our future generations. And I look at it as a song of liberation, and it is healing as well when we do lose a loved one, to think about them as though they're on a journey. And that's another reason why I think this song touches people.
Wow, great. And it's bookending it in a sense, cycle of life where the eagle is soaring and then we're still free at the end, and on it goes. Wow, that's great. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. We really appreciate both of you. Thank you so much. Nalini Lasiewicz and C. David Hay, we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank
Nice
you
to see you,
so
David.
much for taking an interest in my poem and allowing me to share it with so many more people. Beautifully done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.